Yeah, see, we'd had a whole interview, no recordings. Hey, okay, so look, before we catch into it, we're talking about our sponsors that we have. So marviagear.com for all your jiu-jitsu needs, no gi needs. New Zealand fella here in Christchurch, really good, good to chat with, good to talk with. So get online, hit it up. Not too sure when we're going to post this one, so the competition may have finished by then. But if it doesn't, make sure you jump on our Instagram. You got to tag 3 Fiends, follow and share. Now that's on the actual Marvia part of our Talking Jits and Giggles. We also now have been put on to Podbean. There you go. Yeah, and maybe iTunes. I think they've got to verify us to make sure we're not dodgy. But yeah, so we'll crack into it. Look, welcome to the 6th episode of Talking Jits and Giggles. And today with us, we have Damian Smith. Hey, mate, how you doing?
Oh, good, thanks, buddies. Thanks,
nice. I don't know if you've ever met Bryan before, but this is Bryan. Yeah. So, yeah, welcome on.
Go, mate, how you going?
Good, thank you.
I don't know. It's a bit different talking to on these podcasts. We're trying to get around New Zealand. You're our first one in the North Island.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're number 1 in the North.
Up in the cherry.
So, yeah, look, just tell us about yourself, Damien, like your school, like where you started in Jiu-Jitsu, why you started in Jiu-Jitsu, and just, yeah, like I say, I always say this lead up to where you are now, man. So tell us a bit about your background.
Yeah, I started Jiu-Jitsu when I was around about 25, so about 18 odd years ago now or so. And it was all to better myself as a person, to build a better worldview and to create something better than I had to offer to my son. So I had a child and stuff first, Tyler, he's 18 now. And I held this kid one day and I was just like, man, I don't even know what I can really offer this guy. Like, what can I do as a man to be a better person, better father, better worldview, basically. So growing up in New Zealand, it's a cool place. Like, you've got cool attitudes and, we've got good attitudes everywhere, basically. And I wanted to build something better and have a better worldview to pass on to my kids. I always liked the martial arts, and I saw, obviously, UFC 1. I'm a huge Clark Gracie fan from day one. Hey, like lots of us, actually.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool as a kid, hey. So what we all joked about, the skinny guy in the pajamas, and he strangled the world. And it blew my mind, basically, hey. So I want to go learn Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I was like, man, this is the coolest idea ever. This stuff looks amazing, and maybe this could help me, find the things that I wanted to find. And it did, and some. Yeah, so it was a good choice.
Nice. And so where did you start Jiu-Jitsu, bro? How did you get to where you are now?
Training here in Hawke's Bay. So I started training at Twin City Martial Arts. And I was there for a good 10 years and stuff. And eventually opened my own academy and stuff, later stages of brown belt. And then eventually we crossed over and we joined Clark Gracie's team. And Clark's here managed to bring the best out of a whole lot of us. And it was another outstanding choice, to say the least. Yeah, Clark's
oh, nice work, bro. So through your time, like Twin Cities, so where exactly are you in the North Island? Just for those people that want to like.
We're up on the East Coast in Hawke's Bay.
In Hawke's Bay.
Yep, on the East Coast, and we're out in Hastings. So academies in Hastings.
Oh, nice. That's where I was born. Hey.
I was born in Invercargill, by the way. You still got South.
Oh, switch over.
Born in the South, but I live in the North. Yeah.
Oh, so you started at Twin Cities. Okay, so you said you got through there as your brown belt and that kind of stuff. So that was under the Will Machado.
Yep. Will Machado, yeah, so I got my black belt and my first degree from John Will and Shane Cox over with those guys. And then eventually we crossed over and we joined Clark. And,
So tell us a wee bit about that, like your journey into and with Clark Gracie, like, how did it come around? Like, why did you want to?
Yeah, I first met Clark many years ago at a seminar down in Wellington at the mighty GSW, actually. And we went out for dinner with him afterwards and then just chatting this, that, and the other. And he just says, you got academy up in Hawke's Bay. I said, yeah, we have one up there and stuff, my own school up there. Maybe next time I come back, maybe we could hold a seminar. And I was like, man, that sounds like an amazing idea. And then I get a message, I think it was, oh man, bad of the memories, 5 years later, hey, it's Clark Gracie here. And I'm all fucking fanboying out, basically.
God!
One thing led to another, and I'm like, I've got to pick this dude up from the airport, and I'm all nervous like I'm going into fights. Oh man, this is crazy. And then eventually Clark is straight up one of the coolest human beings I've ever met and stuff. And he's been amazing, truly amazing for us. Yeah.
Oh, cool. So how long have you been with him?
Oh, just
Oh.
that trip 5 years ago though. Was that out of the blue? Did he just turn up?
Yeah, he just reached out. He wants to come back to New Zealand. He was looking at doing seminars in Aussie sort of ways and out these ways. So he just reached out.
He did the same in Christchurch. He called the Access guys from the airport, like, "Hey man, I'm here. Do you want to have a roll?" And they're like, "What do you mean you're here?" And then he sent them a photo of the airport, and then boom, he was just crazy.
Yeah,
So he did the whole country.
Yeah,
Awesome.
plane kind of got delayed and whatever, and then he looked at recommendations down those ways. And he reached out to some of the boys down there, obviously, and Access is a super cool place to go. And yeah, we love it that you guys have Clark down there when he does come. It's always great too. Yeah.
Awesome seminars. He was such a cool guy to learn from. Sorry.
Yeah, he's the man. Eh? He's a good fellow. But good person, you know. I've got, like I was saying before, I've got 5 sons. So whoever I bring into my life or into my family and stuff, I truly understand that these people will influence these kids and some. So they look up to Clark like a demigod, basically. They think he's amazing because Dad beats up Tyler along the way when he can. Tyler's getting tough these days. It's not as easy as it is. It's a killer. You know, people Bowden, he's a little monster. But then Clark smokes Dad, and they were like, "Holy shit!" You know, Dad gets inside out, and the kids are all blown away. Something I said, "Yeah, Clark's the man." But so it keeps them humble, you know, it keeps the kids real, and he's good to them too. Yeah, super cool.
Oh, nice. So yeah, so I mean, obviously, Kate, you were Clark Gracie now. Do you use now? There was another Clark Gracie school. Are they affiliates with you or Clark, or how does that work? Are you just one big school but different places?
They're all affiliated together, and like I have over in Taranaki and stuff, Jesse Puada and the boys and stuff joined us just recently.
Oh, he's cool.
So they've joined on the Gracie Allegiance flags. So Clark and I together put the names together. So Clark Gracie team, and he dropped the Clark part, put the Gracie at the forefront. And then they asked if they could use the Allegiance name for the team. And I was like, wow, this is beyond an honor. So I was not to tell anybody for quite some time until I got all intellectual property and all the things sorted out in America and all that kind of jazz that they have to do over there. And eventually we launched a new team, so Gracie Allegiance, which helped free up the black belts to create their own schools and to have affiliates under them without directly having to know Clark. They'll know who we're connected to. The Gracie name resonates itself. It's always back to him. He's the head professor, and always will be. But it was it's super cool, really. So Allegiance Academy was just our team out here in Hawke's Bay, and we launched a new team together. So Gracie Allegiance, global team. It's rather surreal to say the least, boys.
It's a very cool name too.
Real still blows my mind. No idea how to look out like this.
So, like, I mean, with the academy and that kind of stuff, I mean, obviously, you know, I've been up to the Oceanas just recently and that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And,
yep.
You know, your students, very keen competitors. Like you obviously have a core, you've been around for so long, so your team's growing numbers wise and all that kind of stuff. Yep. Like, so, some of you, like, your generation, I suppose you say, your boys coming through or girls coming through that are, you know, ones to look out for and ones to, you know, to really watch. And yeah, tell us a bit about them.
Oh man, there's a bunch of them down there. Like, we're building basically we have like what we call our private group pages, the Addicts at Allegiance. These dudes are like literally addicted to jiu-jitsu. It's so cool to see and stuff, and it's crazy. They're throwing careers away. They're getting part-time jobs, some of them, and they're going out there part-time jobs to train full-time. They don't give a fuck about sponsors. They'll come one day, as they say, when they make the noise. So once they start getting the results, as they are, they're doing it and they're rising up through the ranks. So it's super cool to see, and it warms my heart, makes me feel not insane. Because I truly thought I was crazy. I like this shit a lot. I like it a lot. And then to see a bunch of other people out there share that same passion and to share their passion with them and to build a team. Like, I love the leader as opposed to leader-follower. Don't follow me. That's a bad idea. You'll end up with, like, I don't know, you'll have some nice jiu-jitsu, you'll be broke, but you'll be happy as fuck. So it's not the best thing, but it's kind of cool. As I tell them, follow their own path, though. You know, better leaders, better communities, better things. So you got a bunch of dudes out there and stuff from the brown belts. Sam Gray, obviously, Bryce Gambrosi, and the boys coming through the ranks like that. They're just absolutely owning it in their own divisions and stuff. Rion, once he gets back on after the knee surgery, waiting on that, he'll be back in the mix too. So you got the 3 lightweight brown belts down there. You got Jay Rio coming through the ranks. He has some of the smoothest and slickest jiu-jitsu I've ever seen in my life. I've never met a kid like that before. Like, I say to him and stuff, man, do you get nerves or are you even stressed when you go into these comps, my bro? And he's like, I don't understand why people get nerves. This is only fun.
What?
It's so much fun. Bro. This dude, you go watch his videos, watch his highlight ones he's putting out there, and he's going to make some noise in the world in time too. So they're the next generation coming through again. So it's going to evolve and evolve and evolve as it does. Yeah.
Yeah.
And young Tyler, obviously, my oldest son. So he's out there in the mix. He's literally, he's just gone to Wellington recently and stuff. He's down there with my brother working with them and getting amongst life and stuff, which is super cool too. But I'm sure you'll still see him on that jiu-jitsu circuit out there. Yeah.
So who's he training under while he's in Wellington?
No one at the moment, actually. He's only just moved down there, so it's just a recent thing.
Okay.
On that last couple of weeks sort of things. He's got a couple of buddies down there that used to live up these ways. I'm sure they'll catch up and train, and yeah, he'll find somewhere, that's for sure.
So we talked earlier last week, and you were just saying, like, obviously your team had a big goal this year. You know, when it come to competing and traveling and all that kind of stuff, must be hard to keep your team motivated, especially through these times. You know, especially guys who want to compete, who really want to like give it their all and that kind of stuff. So, you know, have you sat down and talked about a plan, or is that just something that will come
just
back up?
Just in the pause phase? This is just pause for us. So we know that immune systems and health and wellness is going to be the hugest thing ever again. It always has been super important to a bunch of us out there, but the world's going to need a strong immune system to fight this shit that's out there and whatever's going on in the world. So like at the moment, it's basically we press pause. I think the whole world has. So everybody bumming about losing money in business, losing this, losing that. It's like, man, we're all in the same barrel to a certain degree. We're all on different boats though, eh? Some of our boats are fucking flash looking and some are in ship. I must admit, it's probably But yeah, so it's only at a pause phase at the moment. Jiu-jitsu will survive no matter what. It'll carry on. Like we say, it's hard to not do jiu-jitsu. I said, man, we haven't even stopped. We play fight with my kids and we go for runs, you train. Jiu-jitsu is more than just on the mats, you know. It is a way of life. It is a piece of who we are, and they could never take it from us.
Yeah, true.
Not really. Yeah. It feels like it's taken at the moment. It's illegal. As they said, it's illegal to do jiu-jitsu.
It's just held up a little bit. It's harder to reach. Yeah.
Yeah. And as I told them, like, if we just roll now and we go to jail, it'll only add to the legacy. I went to prison for doing it. But no, I'm not doing that though. Don't get me wrong. I like to think myself and family need. There's a few different personalities.
Yeah. And that must be pretty hard for you too. Like we talk about your family and we've spoken about them a couple of times. Like, I mean, you're full-time jiu-jitsu. You love that and you want to do that for a job, but you've also got 5 kids. And, you know, and not just that, obviously you got your wife and that as well, but it's like, man, that's a big, like juggle for you. It must be.
Bro, it just feels like life. It's not hard.
Yeah. 5
kids, man, the missus takes the workload. Like, she's the true champion in this house, man. Like, she does that side of things hard out. Dad, where's mum? Mum, can I have a glass of water? And she'd get it, boys. We all know. And there's 5 of them, so big respect to the wife. She's the only reason I can do what I do. If it honestly straight up wasn't for her not being a dick either, it's just straight up though. She leaves my head clear enough to be able to travel with Clark, go to seminars, go places hard out because I know the home's taken care of. Yeah. So when the home's looked after and I'm not stressed about none of those things back home, you can do good work in the world. Fair enough. Awesome. And all your kids do jiu-jitsu? Yeah, for sure. You haven't got one of them that's gone, nah, I don't want to do that. I'll do something else. Man, I tell everybody out there, bro, reading, writing, and maths is important. We send them to school to learn these things, which they should. Eating good food's cool. If we let them choose what they eat for dinner every night, those little shits that only eat chocolate or ice cream, bro. They would straight up not do the things they are supposed to do. So as parents, we're here to keep them safe. So self-defense is up there, 100% up there with, you know, the confidence it gives them and reading, writing, maths, all these things. They need self-defense in their lives. They become world champions, they become world champions. I'll never force that upon them. I don't make them compete. I don't care. They can do what they like and choose what they want along the way, you know? But they will do jiu-jitsu till they get blue belts while they're under my roof. And that is it. That's it. Simple as that. You will learn self-defense of sorts. And it's fun, man. I love it. And it's super cool to teach the kids classes and keeps me in them, basically. Yeah. You could put a bunch of blue belts out the front there to get them to teach kids classes and do all that. But, man, I like teaching my kids and all the other people's kids. Like, it's amazing. It's a true gift. It's it's a pleasure beyond anything else. So kids are amazing. So you can change the kids' worldview and bring them on and blow up the world that way. I think that's the coolest thing you can do. Let's lead better kids to the planet. Planet's fine. No, seriously. The people, though, don't get me started. Oh my God.
Jiu-jitsu is an awesome way to build friend base as well. Like and not just in your community and your team. I find, doesn't matter where you travel, if they do jiu-jitsu, like I went travel around the world, man, and it's half the place I went to, they don't even speak English. And you're just like, oh, you do jiu-jitsu. And like, yeah, come roll. You don't have to talk. You just got to roll. You just got to work it out. It's great fun. Yeah, bro. It's amazing, eh? It's super cool. Like we said, nothing could replace it. Like, what would you replace jiu-jitsu with? I had a bad back injury one time and I meditate on the ideas and I'm like,
what would I do and what could I do that would replace the passion and love I had for jiu-jitsu if I couldn't continue at one stage there? It got bad and I was like, man, I can't keep being this sore. What would I do if I didn't do this? And all I do is wake up every morning with the idea and there was a void. There's nothing. Well, I cannot literally find anything inside myself that I could replace jiu-jitsu with and what it does for us. So then do the rehab, do the stuff, work around the injuries, find a way. And I think that's what jiu-jitsu taught us more than anything.
Yeah, I think
we've had injuries, we've all wrecked shit. It's so not the one, but that's because of, I think personally, my ego. I should have tapped earlier, maybe back in the day. There were certain times where you just pushed it a little bit too far. They build up though, and they build up. And eventually though, you can rehab it all. So take the long road and fix my back, fix some things, and yeah, it's all good again. Movement's back and it feels awesome.
But I think Hayden said it to me a while ago, like of all the sports you can do, like Clark Gracie is the head of your organization. When he turns up, you can spar him full contact. And it's up to you. I mean, if he beats you, you tap out or you go to sleep. If Mike Tyson came to New Zealand and I fought him full contact, I'd be in the morgue. There's no way I can handle that guy. But jiu-jitsu, it's such a controlled, it's an aggressive sport. Yeah, it's combat, but it's so controlled by both you and the person you're rolling with. You've got so much trust in each other. It's amazing that you can do that. You can fight Clark Gracie, one of the world competitor. I'm not fighting.
One of those,
the whole time, like, again, touch knuckles as much as you want. He's that open. He's super cool about it. Yeah. All the whiteouts, all the people, like he's cool like that. It's unreal. So there's not many sports you can do that. It'd be hard to get on the rugby field and play with some of the All Blacks and have a training with them, let alone play against them. So when you can touch knuckles and throw down with these guys, and it never works. By the way, Clark's way too good. Like it's ridiculous. May as well be a wipeout. It's embarrassing. Like seriously, you're like, oh my god. There's levels obviously, and the bro's the man. Super cool.
Look, I mean, you're passionate about jiu-jitsu, and I can see that. So that's where I was leading to my next question. Is like, you've got really good numbers, and you've grown your numbers over the years through your school and that. Like, why do you feel people come to you? Like, why do you feel like? I mean, is it a word of mouth thing really, or like, do people just get infectious? Like, I'm sitting here listening to you, and you're like, you love jiu-jitsu. You absolutely love jiu-jitsu. And we spoke about this on one of our other podcasts, with Jerry. It's infectious. So, like, when people come through those doors, like, do you see it change in their eyes when you talk to them? Like, the way you talk about jiu-jitsu?
We don't advertise much. We do a little bit of stuff on Facebook and tell a story here and there, but we don't push it. We don't force people down here and stuff. And I believe word of mouth, obviously, is the best way to go. So, I don't know. You always was taught back in the day, I suppose, make money a byproduct doing a good job. So if you love something and do it for long enough and stuff, you could potentially become an expert. I'm not saying I'm an expert. Don't get me wrong. I ain't no John Danaher or nothing like that. Those dudes have got all that stuff they going on. But I just love the idea. I love the idea of could you do what you love and love what you do, and then one day make it monetize it for a better word or something like that, or become your way of life. So is jiu-jitsu just a hobby, it was told to me once, or is it a way of life? And I hate the idea. Jiu-jitsu is a hobby for me. It's like, for me personally, it's not. Yeah. I was like, it's not a hobby. So they made me do business. And I'm like, otherwise it's a hobby if it's not business or anything else. And I'm like, man, it's not. It's none of those things. So to me, it's something very different. So I think jiu-jitsu is a gift to all the people of the world. And I think it's you should be made to do it to a certain degree, certain level, blue belt. Everyone should get a blue belt. It's hard to get
I agree. I totally agree, man. I think it should be.
And you'll be a better human being, I reckon.
Yeah. I think it should be in schools. Like, I would like to see it like Abu Dhabi did it. And, they brought all the black belts over from Brazil and said, sweet, we're going to make this our national sport. Everyone must have a jiu-jitsu coach at school.
Yeah,
cool. Now look at them. They are going to be a serious threat in the next 10 years.
Yep, they'll come on for sure.
It's unreal. But going back a wee bit, like you're competing. Like I said, I used to see you a wee bit in Melbourne and that kind of stuff. The gatherings or the nationals. Tell us a wee bit about that experience for you, like competing wise. How it felt for you, and a little bit different back then. Like we were basically told at the start that you had to place first, second, or third in tournaments to get belts, and we're like, oh, okay, and that was the deal. So we were brought up through that side of things. So you had to compete, you had to place, and you had to do certain things to qualify for these belts and ranks. And then many years go by and stuff like that, and things started to change, and the sport, obviously, everything evolves. And then I asked one of the coaches one day, I said, like, these guys get these blue belts, but they haven't competed in the blah, blah, blah. They said, well, you can't just be the standard then. So you guys are generation one, a bunch of us all came through, and we would either become leaders in these communities or not. We'd go and do whatever we do. So to compete at the beginning was very, very important to instill that
jiu-jitsu culture, because I truly do believe competing and stuff is one of the most important things out there for all the young fellas out there. You're a little bit older, you've got life experience, you've got stuff going on, you do jiu-jitsu for many, many reasons. So I'm not 100% on you have to compete. Like, I ain't like that at all. But the young guys, they definitely need to get out there. So I do encourage and I like them to compete. And when they get those blue belts eventually, plus the gold medals or the silver, whatever they're doing along the way, it means so much to them. And it's nothing cooler. So when they truly earn it, I think, along the way. You don't have to compete, though. Don't get me wrong. Like, there's most of my school, I think probably 60% don't compete. So that's how cool jiu-jitsu can be along the way. But for those young fellas out there talking, you know, under 30, young, you know, go get amongst it. And why not? Unless you're injured or you've got actual fucking things where you can't actually represent to where you should. I don't want them to get hurt. So some of the brown belts, you want to try and rein them back and say, look, your knee's not 100, you've got a big year ahead. Don't do it, but I can't. So you give them the right eventually to choose. It's their bodies. They know themselves better than I know them. And they put it out there and they still do it. As much as I'd love to rein them in, don't compete this time and stop it. Another one's, what's wrong with you? Get in there and compete, boy. There's nothing wrong.
Yeah, I think like what you said, it's important to compete. But for me, I think it's important to compete. I think people need to learn to juggle emotions with when someone gets in your face. Like, because like my son's only 10 and he gets quite worked up because there's a lot of testosterone in his body. But if someone's in his face, he gets even angrier. But you need to be able to control. Like, if you're in a competition, you want to win, you're excited, you're angry, you're nervous. Someone's right in your face, you can't push them away. You can't give them your arms. You've got to learn to deal with someone in your space and control your own emotions as well. But like a lot of people who don't do martial arts, when they get worked up and they want to try and staunch you out, they get right up in your face. For jiu-jitsu, that's where we're comfortable. You're like, oh, so anyway. And I think it weirds people out when they get right in your face and you just carry on talking as it was, they're just like right here. And you're like, oh yeah, man. So anyway. But it's important.
Their contact and that stuff that the competition gives you, the street or anything else, and confrontation's easy.
Yeah. You've got to learn to control the emotions.
Bad idea. I don't want a street fight ever. That would be an ultimate fail. That's kind of like going to prison for me these days. When I was younger, 20, I started jiu-jitsu so you didn't get beat up. Go to parties and be tough, you know. It was a bad idea. And as you get a bit older, street fighting would be a fail these days. Oh my God, I didn't walk away. My ego made me fight this guy. I hope I never get another fight in the street either. Not at all.
Hey, what are you?
Yeah, sorry. I think that's what I mean. Like, it's teaching the kids that when you get angry and someone's in your face, you don't have to fight them away. There are many ways to control a person. And even to do a lot of things in jiu-jitsu, you've got to make the space to create the angles. And no better space. I mean, I win all my fights from 100 meters because that's the best place to do it. No one gets hurt at all.
Exactly. It's true.
Very good. Hey, what do you do to relax, man? Like, what do you do outside of jiu-jitsu?
And I'm addicted to saunas, which is honestly a problem at the moment.
You look like everyone now.
I'm trying to win an auction tonight, actually, for a sauna heater and stuff that I found. Don't go and buy it from me, guys. Don't take that auction. So, yeah, I like to do saunas, relax us lots. Me and the wife enjoy those hard out. And what else do we do, man? Like, we live in Hamoana, so out on the coast in Hawke's Bay. So we've got the beaches and the rivers just like 2-minute walk from here. So a lot of family time, a lot of kicking with the kids and that kind of stuff.
Still riding bikes?
Yeah, I love motorcycles and I'm addicted to gaming. I'm a gamer through and through. That's why I like jiu-jitsu so much. I only play one game because I only do one martial art. I'm very one art like that. But yes, I love gaming. You know, I love kicking with the family, bro, and saunas and shit. Yeah. And riding motorcycles. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, cool. Hey, competing, like when we talked about competing just before, what about yourself? Like now, you've got any aspirations to still compete? Do you still compete? I know it's really busy as a coach. Yeah.
I haven't competed for a long time now and stuff. Just injuries hold you back to a certain degree, so you never make any excuses. But go out there and represent. I know what it takes to train to get fit enough to compete. And I know what I need, my body has to do, and there's certain training regimes. And then certain injuries, certain things limit the amount of like physical training you can push along the way. But don't get me wrong, man, I'm far from done with competing. I love the concept and the idea of World Masters and stuff like that. So black belt World Masters, man, and just to be there to compete and to just win one match is one of the goals, yeah? World title would be the cherry on the story on top, but I'm not after that. I've trained with world class, and they are world class for a reason. And you realize, like, we needed this when we were 2 years old. Damn, mum and dad should have put us in them, but it didn't exist in this country, eh?
Why did I do karate?
Training with, obviously, rolled with the Mendez, Clark Gracie, and guys like that, and they are world class for a reason. So I'm under no illusions. Like, there is levels and levels to this shit like that. So to win a world title, you know, it is a very obviously a selfish thing. I'd have to dedicate so much time and take from the family, from the wife, from all my kids. And it's just a little too selfish at this stage in my life, and on the way I feel personally. So,
yeah,
but in time, I think it's going to be the go. You'll see me worlds one day.
I tell you what, I mean, I know you've been to the Pans and that kind of stuff before, haven't you? I think your boy competed, is that right?
Yeah, we competed in Aussie a lot over there and stuff. Tyler never made it to Australia, just myself over there. About 6 years ago, I competed over in Aussie.
Yeah.
And then a lot of New Zealand, obviously, all the NZ comps back in the days. And
yeah,
great time. Competing's cool. Like, it's super cool. It's the scariest thing you can do.
Oh,
the scariest thing you can literally do out there. You sign up for it, no matter how much you put your head around it, you can't logically sort of put your head around what your nerves are doing. And the nerves are up and down, obviously, like this throughout the entire day. The best advice I ever read and stuff actually come from Bob Hope, I think it was. He said if he doesn't get nervous before, because I always look to control the nerves or stop the nerves. I thought, how do you stop the nerves? And you can't. And he basically said, in the end, all I did is got the nerves to fly in formation. So rather than have the butterflies all over the place, they just, man, here we go. And I was like, fuck, that's the coolest thing in the world. So at that moment in my life, about to go to Aussie and looking for things on nerves and how to deal with fucking sports psychology stuff, and that there was amazing. So yeah, the butterflies will be there, the nerves will be there and shit, and just breathe through them. Breathe through, relax. Yeah, man, flow of the go, literally.
That'd be the best speech on the podium, though. I just want to thank Bob Hope for putting me there.
Exactly.
Oh, crack up.
It is. So yeah, competing's good for you, but it's bad for you. It's kind of it's a whole thing like that.
But it's the best place to see what everyone else is doing as well. Like I can't compete anymore, but I referee and I help out a lot of tournaments just because the whole vibe of the place is fantastic. And talking to people and just seeing how they deal with their nerves. And as a coach, I mean, it's our job to make sure people are relaxed and people calm down. And I also I think I carry that into the tournaments as well. Like, I see people really, really nervous, and I just try to yarn with them. And like, hey, I don't know half these people. I'm like, hey man, no, you did really well. This should be a good role. He's pretty good too, but hey, do what you did. And they're just like, oh yeah, okay. And it's, as people, you just need a tiny bit of reassurance. We're all fragile, even though we try and pretend we're really big. Yeah. We've all got egos, and they all need to be stroked every now and then. So you're just like, oh, hey mate, it doesn't cost anything, or doesn't hurt to be nice to people.
Exactly. But I think humble warriors are the only way to build people. Like, you can create monsters and angry guys and get all the out there, but you're not going to win jiu-jitsu tournaments like that.
Yeah, I don't want to talk to them. They freak me out.
You got a couple of sayings. Crazy wins nothing.
Yeah.
Not in a tactical, technical sport like jiu-jitsu, that's for sure. So I get them as calm as you can. Obviously, a lot of them turn up these ways. They've got some natural sort of competitiveness about them. But as I ask them every time and stuff, I'm already proud of you for turning up and training every day. So I'm so proud of my students for turning up and getting on the mat. That's the hardest part of all of this. Get off the couch and come and discipline your life to do these things. So I'm so proud that they do the training and put in the work. So the competition results don't actually concern me too much. I'm happy for them when they win, and when they lose, I don't care, because they only learn, obviously, and they grow from there. So I've only ever asked them to do two things for me, basically. You take everything from them on the day and honestly make your ancestors proud. And that's all they should be doing. What else are they there for? Make your ancestors proud. Go on, boys, do something epic.
You can't.
Get off there. Everyone's ancestors.
Yeah, can only do the best you can do on the day. I mean, someday it's always someone else's day on another day. There's always someone better, and it's just, you've just got to go out there and try and beat them. They'll make a mistake. You'll make a mistake. Just, you need to be that half a second faster. That's all it is.
Exactly. Be you. Hey, just be you, as I tell them, mate. Be you. Do your thing.
Yeah.
The results will come. Keep turning up. Keep going. Because we've all seen the guy compete 4 or 5 years, win nothing, just kept on turning up, chipped away, and then win. And it's like, wow, and there it is. So yeah, spotting natural talent, I don't know sometimes.
That was
what hard work is what I look for. I look for the work ethic in people. A lot of my students, you can see the work in them. So this dude can work and push through anything we're throwing at him, and keeps coming back. And that's what gets my attention.
I think I heard even Kevin Cornelius was terrible until purple belt, and he said got his purple belt, still didn't win, and then all of a sudden, boom, that's when he grand slammed. Then he won everything from then onwards. There was just something just clicked in his mind one day. So you can do it for years.
Like that 4 years competing to purple, roughly, sort of, for number 6.
Yeah.
4 years in jiu-jitsu to get your head in something. 4 years to get a degree or whatever it is along the way, and certain things in life, 4-year apprenticeships. Like, there's a 4-year period. We've watched lots and lots and lots. So a bunch of dudes out there encourage them, like you say, get to purple and see what happens.
Yeah.
And then the biggest one, isn't it? They blow up, and they'll go through purple, they'll go into brown, and they carry on. So it's super cool. Special grade.
Retention for you. How's within the gym and that kind of stuff when we're talking about people going through the levels? Like, because obviously jiu-jitsu is it's not a sprint. It's a marathon. It's a love. It's a it's a passion. And once you get that, obviously, we stay. But like retention wise, how do you find you get a few dropping off a lot of the times? Other work commitments and bits and pieces, or
definitely on that. But we have pretty rad retention. Like our retention's pretty cool. You got a core dudes down there, core group of us that started many years ago, and all we've done over the last sort of 15 odd years now and stuff is just added to that core. So every now and then another one comes in, you find that other like-minded person or the passionate person, and that core group just continues to grow and stuff like that. So if they come, they go, and they quit, as long as I'm like, there's a coach and stuff personally, as long as I don't push them out of the art. I hate that dude so much. I'm never doing jiu-jitsu again. It's the only fate I can do. Because you got to let go of students too. Students come and they go, and they come and they go, and it's emotional. You pour everything into it. Pour your heart, soul, and love into these people, and the next thing they just decide, I'm out. And you're like, it was hard to let go back in the day.
I can agree, yeah.
I got some super cool advice one day from Tojo, actually. Tojo Dixon. I asked him one day, could I ask a question, please, Tojo? He's teaching some Thai boxing class here in Hawke's Bay. And I wasn't in the class at all. I had jiu-jitsu classes starting soon. I was just watching, hanging out. And I said, can I ask you a question, please? And he says, yeah, of course you can. And he liked that. And I said, what's the deal with your students when they decide to leave? Because you can't keep them forever. We understand that. And he says, the best thing you can do is to shake their hand and say hello. And as soon as I let go, I've let go. Be the best you can be for the time they are there. Because they will. A girlfriend, a bad habit, or a prison sentence, or a bad choice, good choices, career move, they're going to go. You cannot keep everyone. So shake hands, and then just straight away, man, you basically let go. And I was like, man, that is some epic advice. So yeah, and the worst thing you can do is push someone out of the art. If they leave, join another team, I don't even care. I don't mind. The bro just switch teams. He's not happy here. Cool. Who wants unhappy people hanging with you?
That's it.
Who cares?
Same journey, different boats. They're just getting on a different boat down the same journey, like you said before.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those things. And it was just one of those questions I asked, because obviously with jiu-jitsu, a lot of people change and that kind of stuff. And it's interesting to hear from other coaches.
Find your happy space. A student's not happy with us on the team and don't like me or my coaches or any of us, and that's okay. That's just personality clashes. You can't please everybody. We tried. Oh, we did. We truly tried to please everyone. Fuck, this shit's hard. But you can never see eye to eye. So find your community, find your team, find your family or whānau. Build something epic.
Yeah, like you said before, just do what you do. I mean, and again, the quickest way to upset everybody is to try and please everybody. But you just do you, and people will come to you. And like you said, if they like it, they'll hitch on for a ride. And then, hey man, thanks for the ride. I'm going to go this way now.
Yeah, it's important to be authentic. Like you say, do you be authentic as you can. World's fake. On the news, I don't know. I don't get in trouble saying fake news, but is the news real? Fuck, makes no sense to me.
I don't know.
Conspiracy's real? Fuck, they make no sense, but they're interesting.
Yeah. Makes good conversation.
They crack me up, so I don't know.
I'll say it.
It's not really. Mainstream, not really. The only truth I know is the mat. You tap. Yeah. You win, you lose, and every day we jump on the mats. We can put all arguments aside, all religion, all creeds, all stuff. And on the mats, we know what's real and what's not. Outside of that, I have no idea anymore. I feel like I'm living in the Twilight Zone.
Yeah, it's too easy to make shit up on videos.
Oh, I've only just started watching the news, mate, since all this corona. Before that, I never even used to watch it, man. I don't
watch it, bro.
Nah.
Time to train at 6 p.m, man.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. It was really just to see what's going on and when I can get back to training.
Yep.
MMA, mate. Have you ever competed in MMA or done MMA?
Yeah, I had two pro fights actually along the way. The day before, I think pro was basically the word they threw around for no shin pads. Like what made a pro, I don't know. So we fought on a show down in the Wellington in Porirua and a kennel club under one of Rex Redden's shows, actually. Rexy.
Oh, Rumble.
And once up on the ICNZ one, so a long, long time ago. But that was only to help kill the nerves for jiu-jitsu.
And how did you go on those? And how was it like? Was it just to help with your jiu-jitsu, or you just wanted to give your jiu-jitsu a bit of a test?
It was a little bit of both, really. Along the way, it was like a nagging thing in the back of my mind to give it a shot. Have a go one day. Could you do it? And could you use jiu-jitsu in those circumstances to control someone, take them down in a safe environment, really, and to overcome the nerves? So I actually asked Elvis Nosik one time when I was over in Aussie. asked Elvis, what's the deal with the nerves, man? If I get that first fight out of the way and I do well, like if I win my first one, I feel so good after that. You just carry on until you get stopped by someone better or you'll win. So I said, how do you get rid of the first set of nerves, man? It's horrible. And he goes, go do MMA. And I said, honestly, he goes, yeah, do MMA. Imagine there's UFC on the mat, on the floor in front of you. You're standing there, you've got a game plan, and someone punches you straight in the face. You've got to make the game plan with I was like, okay. So off you go. Hey, listen to the gods of grappling. I called them all these black belts years ago. I just looked up to so many of them. So such solid advice. Why let it die there? So yeah, one thing led to another, and I think it was a 3-day notice, short notice. We had fighters getting down there anyway, and they had a lightweight guy pull out. And, are you interested, Damian? So I said, hang on a sec, Rex on the phone. So I said, hang on a minute. Put the phone down. I was like, I want to say no. I'm scared. So I picked up the phone. I'm in. And then I hung up. I ruined my shit for 3 days. I was like, man, I don't feel too well. The nerves and the honesty of going into your fighting. So you can't, it's only a fight. And there's a referee. So these days you can get your head around it more as you get older. But back then I remember about 28 or something, and just, the most nerves I think I've ever had. Yeah. But then once they call your name, it was the same as the nerves for jiu-jitsu. It was the same thing. So when they call your name, though, and the sounds go on and the lights turn down and, man, you get your walkout, man, it's the coolest feeling in the world. Now it's time, and that's all I loved. I hate the nerves, but I like the fighting. It was actually fun. Once it kicks off, and it's on. Fuck the waiting. We just do this shit in the car park. Like, meet us here. Yep, rock out of the cars and get in some scraps. That would be easy, but it's so wrong. You can't live like that. So, yeah, so much respect for the MMA fighters out there. They have some of the toughest mental challenges, I think, out there under the sun. Jiu-Jitsu tournaments are still harder, I think, to a certain degree because of the amount of fights you can have in one day. So my own personal experiences and stuff, the MMA fights, so many of whatever you do out there, it's one fight. But then you got to go again and again and again. So, but the mental stuff was so much harder in MMA. It's crazy. So yeah, so much respect for those guys. I think it's amazing.
Nice. What do you do outside of, like, when I say outside, to complement jiu-jitsu? Do you do anything else, like a yoga or a stretch routine or weights?
Yeah, I love stretching lots and stuff. So a bunch of stretches, call it yoga, call it breathing and stretching basically. But Pnf stretching is what I've learned lots over the last couple of years. So we do a whole lot of scientific style stretching, push against it, resist against the stretch, and then go deeper each time. So I love that stuff lots. Obviously massage stuff, get rid of the knots each week if you can, and get your body looked after because it gets bound up and injuries come from tightness, obviously. And I think that was the problem. So a lot of warm-ups, a lot of cool-downs, a lot of stretching, bro. So basically chatting to Clark and stuff and asking him advice when I first met him. And I said, with your body and things, this, that, and the other. And he goes, as you get older and stuff, after 35 sort of thing, roughly along the way, he goes, you have to put like hour on the mat, hour on the foam rollers, or stretching and rehab. And that's kind of how we do it. So you have to put in that work if you want to keep doing this art. So I don't want to quit and I don't want to stop, but my body was nearly getting to the point where it was just shit. Every time you moved, you became about as flexible as a cricket bat for a bit of a piece of glass. I'm fucking hurt myself with these young dudes trying to keep up. I just want to play fight, but they are so fast. And you realize you get a bit older, shit slows down a little. And then, the more stretching I've done and the stuff like that, and the more supple my body is, the movement started to come back and the positivity came back, the light at the end of the tunnel, for a good word. So, yeah, I'm huge on that stuff these days.
Yeah,
so a lot of bands, stretch bands and things like that. I think stretching more than weights. I do body weight exercise. I've got a weight vest of sorts I like to run in and do push-ups and shit in and stuff like that. But I don't lift. I don't do much lifting at all. And the biggest tip and thing I think you can get out there and stuff from me personally and stuff is a reverse hyper. So we just bought one of the reverse hypers just recently, one of the force ones, American one of sorts, and that has been one of the best tools we've got in the academy. The academy is basically full of inversion tables, cycles and stuff for cardio for the guys doing stuff that have got injuries of sorts, and the reverse hyper. So if you haven't seen reverse hypers, you know what I mean?
Well, with the inversion table, is there something similar to that, or
no? Hyper extension, you'll lie on and you lower your shoulders and you lift your body up.
Oh, yeah. I know the one.
So this one, I lie on my belly and you're going to lift your leg back up this way, so your belly down. And it can traction and extension at the same time, so you can extend traction and open the joints back up so it relieves all the pressure. So you check out the videos by Louis Simmons. I think Louis Simmons, he invented it, guy from West Coast or West Side Barbell.
Yeah.
Craziest dudes in the world, yeah.
A great Netflix doco.
Hyper, bro. It's fucking smart. So any lower disc issues or bulging discs and stuff, and they claim it fixes, goes away. I read and watched and looked at so much stuff like that under the sun because of the disc injury in my back. And then eventually we pulled it together and we got one this year basically along the way. and it's been invaluable. I think the lower back injuries and stuff and life just from sitting in desks and chairs and cars and trucks and whatever else people are doing, let alone jiu-jitsu, getting stacked and squashed and yanked and thrown around. So the more you can decompress the spine and get that traction going on, the better we can get that blood flow and the healing in there. So yeah, look into it. Reverse hypers. They'll honestly save your back.
Is that the one? He broke his back, wasn't it? Is that the one he broke his back and he used that to bring himself back up and strengthen himself?
He had, yeah, horrific back injuries of sorts, and then came back at 60 and broke all world records and took steroids. It's insane. So those dudes are next level crazy. You can lift weights with their nosebleeds. Like, man, I can't change jiu-jitsu nosebleeds. Not like that anyway. It's just mad stuff.
I think it's the stretching side is, when I was growing up doing martial arts, it's the side no one listens to. It's only when you're older that you're like, and you bend down to do your shoelaces and you're like, what the fuck? I can't reach my foot. That's why my coach wears jandals all the time. But it's definitely good advice. Definitely good advice.
Wisdom, yeah. Reverse hype, get amongst them.
Your gym, are you open 6 days a week, 7 days a week? Do you have others? Are you sharing the gym? Is it just straight jiu-jitsu?
It's straight jiu-jitsu. Like, I don't want someone telling me that my guys left mess or picked this up. And we've been in gyms before, and other gym owners, they were good to us, and we hired, floor space, put our mats away at the end of the day, and done that for a long, long time. So to get our own buildings eventually and stuff was surreal, to say the least. And then to build on these ideas from here is going to be, it's our next phases. We're going to get new buildings soon, stuff like that, build some saunas and things there, and just continue adding to that, like rehab, training, holistic approach to things that we love. Stuff like that. So we had a bunch of physios training with us and chiropractors, different people, and we'll see in time sort of build a team of people and come together that way. I think would be the best way to do it. So yeah, the building at the moment is solely mine, but I love the idea of sharing the rent and getting something bigger.
Yeah, good.
Build something beautiful, bro. Yeah, you really could.
Yeah, it works and quite well. So you work here 6 days a week? Training?
Yeah, Academy's open 7, so I've got a bunch of key holders and other guys out there that do open mats and certain things and stuff like that. So, and Bryce Gamrazi's our takedown coach. So he runs our takedown Tuesday classes and wrestling classes and stuff like that. So we're going to add to that program this year and get a couple of those going on. And just keep expanding what the team needs and wants and things like that. A bunch of brown belts stepping up to teach these days, which is super important to us for black belt and stuff. We want them to be able to teach and things like that too, not just be good fighters. So that's part of what Clark thinks is important out there too. So we like all that. And share the workload that way to a certain degree. So I run a lot of the kids classes, all the fundamental classes. I think it's important for the passion to be there for those beginners and look after your top end. They've been there the longest. Loyalty for the boys and stuff that have been there forever. So loyalty's earned, not blind by us. Like, you don't have to be loyal to me when you start training with us. Fuck, we're literally in that in time. Can't command loyalty and take fees.
Bryce is pretty cool though, man.
I'll be loyal to your coaches and your teams and stuff if you get on with each other. The loyalty's a two-way road and look after each other that way. It's important.
I've been following a bit of Bryce on Instagram and YouTube and stuff over quite a few years. It's got that real cool move he does with his from the bottom, the Bryce Plata and
the Gambo Plata things. Whatever we call it, old school names and new school names, everything's sort of cyclic. But he's taken that man and some, and he's doing some cool things with it. Watch him come back. He's got some more tricks off that now. He likes the cool. They'll come up with, and he's got something for everybody up there.
Because when I was even like but you guys before talking about how passionate you were and how approachable you were. I'd never met Bryce, and I was in Ireland, and I saw Fionn Davies was coming to Australia and New Zealand, and I sent it out to him. I just saw he'd liked a couple of things I'd like, and I was like, "Oh, this dude's awesome. He trains in North Island. He might be able to get her over here." And he was real cool, man. I just flicked out a message, and he started talking to you, I think, and then hopefully she ended up coming over.
Yeah, bro, they work things out together like that, and the boys are pretty approachable along the way. Like we say, good humans both on and off the mat.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't give a fuck how tough you are. You're toughest dude in the fucking on the mats out there in the competition doing your thing and stuff, but you're a shit human being. Like, what have you really achieved?
Yeah, for real.
This is martial arts in the end day. That's all there is to it. Straight up jiu-jitsu is martial arts. Good people.
Nice.
I'd rather come last in the tournament and know everybody than win and no one wants to talk to you.
Fuck yeah, exactly, my man.
Who are you going to celebrate with?
Who are you going to go out and have a beer with?
Yourself.
Exactly, yeah. So yeah, be a good person. It's important.
Your goals going forward, like your goals for obviously once we get out of this, but like what are your goals for jiu-jitsu? Just could be 5 years down the track, could be anything, Mary. What's
your
future?
carry on as we are, bro. Like, I like what I do, and I don't think you should fix things that aren't broke too much. Like, I like the idea of getting better at business to a certain degree to make, help more people, as I've been teaching me along the way. I don't like the word business or money and greed. It seems like greed and money, but there's greedy businessmen and there's good businessmen. So if I do good business, as they've told me, the business mentors and people behind the scenes, good business for Damian equals you can help a shitload more people. So you can do what you love on a bigger scale. And I'm like, you motherfuckers, you're right. And they are right. You could build a bigger academy, you could hire more staff, you could create lifestyles, positions inside these teams to step up as they go along. I can't do it forever. So you've got a finite amount of time and stuff. John Will taught me many years ago and stuff. He actually said it. You have to understand at a certain point, though, there's a white belt comes through the door. Hello, my name is Damian. Welcome to Allegiance, Gracie Allegiance. You're going to be your black belt coach and look forward to getting you to black belt and helping you on your journey. But at a certain point, I don't have 10 to 20 years to give back to that brand new person. And that's the most real shit I ever learned. I was like, fuck, that's real. At 60, do I still want to be going, hi, my name is Damian, brand new white belt? Come on, we know.
Fingers like this.
It's going to change, There'll be other people, my children, if they step up to it, or other passionate human beings, all I really care along the way. So anybody steps up, runs these academies and schools or positions or whatever we can do to help them along the way. I love the idea of all my black belts opening their own schools. Gracie Allegiance academies across the country, place, doing their own thing, living the similar lifestyles. I think it's super cool. But not everybody wants that. They don't care. They like their job, they like their stuff, and they love jiu-jitsu just the way it is. So the ones that like that stuff, we can open those doors for, we can help them, and then, send them those parts if they want. So there's a couple of my brown belts want black belts eventually and stuff, once they earn them, obviously, and they never asked for them, but they've already expressed over the last sort of 8 years, they want to one day be able to give back to the communities, help the people, help the things like that. They'll do them in other towns, as they said. They'll set stuff up, and they want to fly these flags together, which is, I think, super cool. It's exciting.
Well, that's cool, man. Like obviously, it's definitely working for you up there. And you I think I've seen recently, Lucas was on a podcast, and so I can't remember her name. A young lady, black belt. She's part of your alliance as well, or part of your culture.
Ellie.
You can see it in all ears. You're all like, I suppose to say, spreading the love, spreading the jiu-jitsu. And like I said, it's obviously working really well for you, and their affection for jiu-jitsu is spreading, and is it going to continue to spread? And all dues for that, really.
Teams down from the top, though. Like Clark, this is how Clark is basically. I already love jiu-jitsu. Like the passion's so strong, obviously, and stuff. It's been told to me a million times. Obviously, I love this stuff. And then Ellie and Lucas, you just meet that once again, similar, like-minded people. They have their thing, and to put those people together, I couldn't have asked for anything. Didn't mean to make that happen. I didn't do anything, actually. Clark and Ellie reached out. They all hung out. This stuff came together. Clark rings me, and what are these guys? And blah, we start doing things. And I'm like, fuck, this is beautiful. You could build something beautiful with the right people together. And then obviously with Jesse and the boys coming on board and stuff, and Troy over in Taranaki and stuff, I was like, wow, they want to do what? So it's an honor to have those guys sign up to us as well and help them with their journey on the West Coast and us out here on the East Coast and the North Island. And we might see Gracie Allegiance South Island one day, brothers.
One day.
That'd be cool.
That'd be cool to have another school down here.
Yeah. I might move home one day, go back down those days, and you never know.
It hasn't changed much.
Hey, now obviously being with Clark, you've travelled to San Diego?
No, I've not been to San Diego.
No, I haven't. Yeah. So was that part of the plan this year to head over that way?
That actually was one of the plans in the very near future. So I sent my son Tyler out there just recently. Sam Gray's been over there as well on the brown belt and stuff. So the boys went together. They get to go over there and stay at Clark's house while they're there, which is all beyond surreal, as they said. They're lying on the couch, hanging out there, going, man, we're at Clark Gracie's. And they're like sending me videos and shit and fanboying. And Clark's so cool to them. Took them around Mexico, different places, and down to seminars down those ways. They went to a Mexican wedding of sorts. And so to open those doors and stuff to me was more important, to be able to find a way to get people into the States to look at the bigger picture. We haven't produced world champions, but I love the idea of, Hawke's Bay or New Zealand people actually, winning world titles and so on. But I'm under no illusions. I'm not a world-class coach at that time, not at all and stuff. So can we reach those levels? We need help. And then can you tap into some people out there that would help the team and open these doors? And Clark, that came at the right time, obviously, and to let my son and the boys go there. Not that everyone will do that, obviously. Clark's only got so much room in his house. But they don't all quite get that sort of looked after this, but that's the kind of things we wanted to start anyway, open the doors, and then saw myself many years ago stand there and let them go before we go team into the world. Let's go and see how far we can take this jiu-jitsu stuff. I think that's super, super cool and important to be able to create opportunities, open things and doors, and give them more than we had. Otherwise, what are we doing if we're not evolving it beyond ourselves?
Yeah, for sure.
So I'll make it over there. Don't get me wrong. I can't wait to get to this thing. Yeah. It's going to be good fun.
Oh, it's an out of experience. My first time I went to the World Masters, and I stood there, and I was on mat 1.
Yep.
And the biggest comp I'd been into was at the Pampaks and that kind of stuff at that stage. Awesome. And I'm standing on mat 1, and I look down, and there's 14 mats going non-stop. And it's just like, holy shit, I'm on mat 1, and I look down, and it's just like you get this awesome feeling, and it's pretty cool. And if anyone gets the opportunity, especially at the Masters, and I thought like, shit, if you get the opportunity, you're over 30 and you want to give it a go. The problem is, though, you look there and, you got Saul Hilbera fighting. And it's, these guys, even though they're Masters, they're at the top of their game, But it was just, it was an amazing experience to watch 3 days of jiu-jitsu in Las Vegas. It was cool. So all the best and on that side of things, bro.
Yeah, it'll be fun. One day when it's meant to be. I like timing. Timing happens when it's meant to be. Don't force nothing. That's what teaches us. Don't force life. It'll go wrong.
I went to the States and I trained at Oziender's gym, and I talked to him about the World Masters, and he's so cool to talk to. But I was like, when are you going to compete next? He's like, I've got World Masters. I can't wait for it. I said, because of all the jiu-jitsu. He's like, nah, because there's buffets. I fucking love buffets. So for him, jiu-jitsu was secondary to buffets, man.
Yeah. It's the cool day out. That's how it should be.
It's just the way he said it. Just cracked me up.
Hey, Damian, thank you very much for your time, mate. I know your time is precious. Obviously, like I say, we've heard before, you got a big family and that kind of stuff. But thank you very much. What we normally do at the end of our podcast is we hit out 5 questions, 5 quick fire questions, and we'll just I'll crack in. It's my turn today.
Yes, Hayden's turn.
So it's my turn. So okay, here we go. Open guard or closed guard?
Closed guard. Old school all day.
Nice boy. I'm going to hit, sorry, I know this is supposed to be quick fire. Favorite Street Fighter character?
What's the one on the white gi called? It's been so long.
Rue.
Yeah, that's the one.
Hey, you knew the characters.
Yeah, I played division shooter games. I used to play fighting games.
Protein or not protein?
Protein hard.
Oh, good man. Gosh. I've got to think, what was my other question? Gee, I'm getting old. I'm losing my memory. Okay. What's your favorite choke? Okay, what's your favorite submission?
I love strangling people. Nothing cooler. You tap to an armbar, the guy can walk off and think he beat you still. I would have got you, just call me lucky. Choke them, they give up. It's all over. What's my favorite choke? Triangles and passes. Same thing, basically. Arms and legs.
Nice.
Okay, our famous last question. Do you wash your belt?
No.
Oh yes!
Oh, for the win.
Yeah!
Why?
I don't know. I get the same question. Why do you need to wash your belt?
Yeah.
Got to slump into the corner.
How do you get your immune system strong without a filthy belt? Come on.
Look, Damian, thank you very, very much for your time, mate. Like I said to you, I know it's precious and that kind of stuff. We really appreciate it. Can't wait to catch up to you again. Hopefully, if I'm up that way, we'll stop in and have a roll. You're always welcome. Good luck with everything. Good luck with the association expanding. And if you're up that way through Hastings, Hawke's Bay, make sure you hit out Damian and make sure you get your ass down there for a roll.
Yeah, we got open mat policy down here and up in here in Hawke's Bay or down here, wherever you're coming from, and you're all more than welcome. Everybody rolls with everybody down here and stuff. They share techniques, ideas, and we love learning from other people too. We honestly love visitors. Come see us. You're all more than welcome.
Cheers, bro. Thank you, Lewis. Thank you.
Yes, that is.
Sweet. So that's easy now, man. All you need to do is push in recording.